Mother knows best. As Meghan and Harry's relationship crumbles and their careers in Hollywood stagnate, Meghan's mother, Doria, is moving in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Drug dealer, swindler, scam artist, grifter, mother of Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, and mother-in-law of Prince Harry, Doria Ragland is many things to many people. And now reportedly, she is trying to help Harry and Meghan as their world is falling apart all around them. Instead of just being there to make sure Harry's got the good stuff and helping Meghan with whatever grift she's currently working on, reportedly, Doria is now living in their Montecito McMansion. According to a report in The Express, Meghan's 67-year-old yoga teacher mom has taken up residence in the Sussex's guest house on the grounds of their Californian mansion to help the couple through tough times and to avoid a nearly 3-hour car journey from her home in View Park, Windsor Hills in Los Angeles. Well, let's think about this. Assuming the information is true, which I do believe it is, what does this mean for Harry and Meghan's relationship? As I have been saying, they are done. I don't believe that they're together anymore, and I think this is another sign. Even for normal people, I would say it is never a good sign when the mother-in-law has to move in to help them out. Now, when a woman is a new mother, it makes a lot of sense for her to want to have her mother around to help her figure things out with the baby. But Meghan is probably not a mother at all, and she's certainly not a new mother. At this point, the only obvious reason to me is that Harry and Meghan are finished, and Doria is there to stay with Meghan and help her through the breakup. According to the source, 2023 was a tough year for both Harry and Meghan, and Doria has been there for them. Doria looks fighting fit, but she's nearly 70 and gets tired of the car rides from her home to see her daughter and grandchildren. Now, interestingly enough, they didn't say that Doria is sick of the car rides from her home to see her daughter and grandchildren and also son-in-law. She's not there to visit Harry, that much is clear. And at this point, I'm not even convinced that Harry is staying in that McMansion anymore. I mean, it was months ago that we were hearing reports that Harry had his little escape room that he would stay in when things got too bad at the home in Montecito. We haven't heard anything lately about where exactly Harry is spending his time, but something tells me it's not at that Olive Garden-looking McMansion. I think he's done with that. And for Meghan as a narcissist, this is certainly a very tough time. It's becoming impossible to escape the fact that she's finished in Hollywood, that people do not love her, that in fact most people hate her, that her career is done, her marriage is done. She is never going to have the fame and the fortune that she is so desperate for. Now, her mother, I believe, is a big part of the reason Meghan has turned out this way. I suspect that her mother and her father, to be fair, just filled her heads with all kinds of ideas about how great and wonderful she was, and how she deserved everything she ever wanted in life. So her mother's got to be there. She's got to give Meghan that narc fuel because nobody else will at this point. The source went on to say it takes nearly 3 hours to drive one way, so it made sense for her to move into the guest house. She now spends more time there than in her own house, end quote. I would disagree, though, with this idea that it makes sense for her to move into the guest house. Again, supposedly Meghan and Harry have plenty of money. They want us to believe that they can afford staff, they can afford nannies, maids, butlers, whoever they need to keep things in order. So what exactly is Doria's role in this little arrangement? Or could it be that Harry is still living in the home and Doria's job is to keep him high as a kite so that he's easy to control? 2023 certainly was a rough year for Harry and Meghan, to put it mildly, so I do understand that Meghan is probably leaning on her mother at this point because, well, her mother is the only one maybe who tells her what she wants to hear. The source also reported Doria has really been Meghan's rock over the past year. Not only has she been there for her daughter, but has enjoyed helping to look after the grandchildren. Well, okay, I do believe that Doria has been Meghan's rock, because again, I think Doria is the only one who is going to encourage Meghan's delusions at this point. I don't even think Harry's doing it anymore. I think even Harry is waking up to the fact that Meghan's fantasy world is not doing them any favors. Meghan's delusions, in fact, are a big part of the reason why Harry and Meghan find themselves in their current situation. And as far as looking after the grandchildren, well, I sure hope not. I mean, Doria's an ex-con. I wouldn't want her looking after my grandchildren, that's for sure. And maybe I'm old-fashioned here, but in my opinion, it's never really a good sign in a relationship when somebody has to have their mother move in. And it's not because the mother needs a place to stay, it's because Meghan wants her there. So according to the source, Harry's fine with it. Quote, Harry adores her as well and loves having her there. There are times when he needs alone time, so Doria heads over to the guest house to make herself scarce when needed, end quote. I don't believe this for one second, though. I mean, what man is going to love having his mother in law around? I don't care how wonderful the mother in law is. I've got a son, and I can tell you right now that if I just inserted myself into their lives, he and his wife absolutely wouldn't appreciate it. Now, we have a wonderful relationship, but still, my presence would be incredibly intrusive. So the fact that this source is claiming that Harry adores having her there tells me that this is not the whole story. This is not how Harry really feels about this situation, if it's really even going on. According to the Express, Doria also spent the Christmas holidays with Meghan and Harry at their Montecito McMansion, after, of course, Harry and Meghan headed to Costa Rica in mid to late December, where they visited a few different places and took some weird grainy photos of the children. The source reports Doria has basically become the mother of the household. Harry loves to be mothered. Oh, God. So he finds Doria being there very refreshing, end quote. Okay. I just felt sick to my stomach. Yeah, I'm sure Harry does love being mothered. That's why he got together with Meghan Markle, who claims to be the reincarnation of his mother. Harry is just such a pathetic, desperate individual. I mean, come on now. He finds Doria being there very refreshing. I hope that's not true. I mean, what kind of man is he? And I know he's really not a man. He is a little boy, and Meghan clearly has all the control and wears the pants in that relationship. But even so, I find it very disturbing that they're trying to portray Harry as this poor little boy who just loves having a mommy to take care of him. Something tells me this source is a lot closer to Meghan than they are to Harry. In fact, the source may very well be Meghan herself. Oh, and naturally in this article they have to include a little dig at the royal family. Supposedly, Harry really loves having Doria there because, she's so much warmer and so much nicer to him than his real family. The source said Harry appreciates the warmth and kindness that Doria brings to the family. He doesn't get that from his side of the family and thinks it important that the children are close with their grandmother. Oh, really, Harry? How rich? I mean, okay, he doesn't get that from his side of the family? Well, gee, Harry, I wonder why. I wonder why you're not getting a lot of warmth and kindness from your family lately. Maybe it could have something to do with the fact that you have trashed them and you have tried to bring them down very publicly. You've said horrible things about your stepmother. You've said horrible things about your father, your brother, your sister-in-law. Really, nobody has come away unscathed. But yeah, by all means, lean on Doria, the ex-con, the grifter who taught Meghan Markle everything she knows. That's a great idea, Harry. As usual, I seriously doubt the veracity of this article, and I hope it's not true. I mean, if this is really what's going on in that home, Meghan and Harry and Doria all living together, Doria and Meghan absolutely running Harry, then the situation with Harry is even sadder than I thought. He needs to grow up. He needs to grow a pair. He needs to admit that he was wrong in marrying Meghan in the first place. He needs to admit that he was brainwashed, that he was taken advantage of by a sociopathic narcissist, somebody who was able to manipulate him completely. But is he going to be able to do that? That, in my mind, is a big question right now, because let's remember, Harry's also incredibly arrogant, much like Meghan. So it would take a lot for him to admit that he had been swindled, that he had been completely taken for a ride. Is he going to be able to do that in order to escape Meghan's clutches? Well, let's just wait and see. And you, what do you think of this report that Doria has moved in with Harry and Meghan? Do you think it's true? And what do you think it means for Harry and Meghan's marriage? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to like and share it with any of your friends or family who would enjoy it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.